When are we going to get the
Exactly. At least what?
Dude, listen, I used to be this big like, Aliyah, Rav Kook guy. I still kind of am. Dude, but I got to say, I know we've spoken about this. It's time to go home. Really, really, I really feel that way. Dude, I came back to America in 2013, and this was the first time I was, because I became Baal Tshuva, I became religious in Israel. The process kind of started in America, but I really became Baal Tshuva in Israel. And I was never in the American Orthodox Jewish community before 2013. I was never like an integral part of it. And I guess threw myself into it. And I was shocked at what I saw. And I was wondering, like, are these people like asleep? Do they have any idea what's going on here?
Keep talking. I'm here.
Okay. Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I was going crazy. I was taking crazy pills, And I was really convinced, and I still am convinced, that everybody, first of all, on a spiritual level, I don't really understand how people could like daven, pray, and learn Torah outside the land of Israel. I'm not talking about from political perspective. I'm not talking about Zionism or anything like that. I'm just talking about spiritually. And I'm not trying to be cliche. I'm not trying to emulate or quote any Torah sources or any psukim. I'm just saying this is from me. This is all coming from me. You there?
Yeah.
I told this to my friend once. What I'm telling you now, he actually is a student of the Rav Kook path, and he said, listen, you feel this way because you have a healthy neshama. Again, I didn't get this from any books. I said to him, I just on a raw level. This is for years and years. I never understood how people could worship Hashem outside of the land of Israel. How can they connect? How can they do anything? Any mitzvahs? Anything?
Well, because because the entire universe is God's.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is, for sure, but what I'm saying is, I don't feel it here. I don't feel it here. A lot of people feel the same way as I do. I'm not crazy. I'm not talking about Zionism, and I'm not talking about whatever, Rav Kook even. I'm just talking about what I can feel. And when I say what I can feel, not like you always say, oh, you feel. No, I don't mean it like that. I mean like the kedusha that I can feel. It's a bad translation, holiness. It's a horrible translation of the word kedusha. But you know what I mean when I say kedusha.
Okay, why don't we talk about kedusha for a second?
Yeah.
Right. So basically, you have this idea. It's translated as holiness.
Yeah. It's not.
As far as I understand, the definition of holy is something that is prepared to serve God. Meaning, it is prepared and designated only in the service of God. Okay, like your Kiddush cup, that's only used to sanctify the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Right. That is a holy vessel. Okay, people who want to make themselves holy, right? Oh, that's a holy man, or that's a holy woman. What is that? What does that mean? That means a person who's dedicated every aspect of their life in the service of God. Everything, every part of themselves. It says, "Make yourself holy to God." Right? There's a verse, several verses, in fact, that say that. Right? That means that everything you do in your life, from the time you wake up in the morning until the time you go to sleep, the sleep itself, everything, somehow you have to make that with the intention that you're serving God. So that's what holiness is. Israel is holy because it was just set aside as the land that is specifically for the service of God, meaning like nothing else is supposed to be going on there.
Yeah, none of the smell of Eve and
now the land itself, it does have special qualities, special properties that help the process for those that are there to do that. It has like certain secrets. The land has secrets. It has powers. It's unusual. It's not like
I can tell you from personal experience with.
So that's what you're feeling.
Dealing with
so I don't know. Maybe you're feeling like that in that land, because the land itself hasn't a default holiness.
Yeah.
Just because it was designated by God, the land itself has a default, even if it's not treated that way. Even if it's like,
I mean,
I feel like listen,
I feel
people wiping their ass with silk.
Listen, I feel it when I'm there.
From the Matrix, right? Remember,
No, I'm saying I feel it when I'm there. It's not that I define it in any particular terms. I just feel it when I'm there. I like when I'm there, I stay in Jerusalem. Not that I don't, I leave Jerusalem, I go to other places, but the place where I stay, it's like literally a 20-minute walk from the old city. I go to the old city and I just feel a very powerful energy in a very powerful way. Some people don't feel it. Some people are like, I can't be here. They have to go leave it. They have to go to Tel Aviv, or they have to go to Tzfat. Tzfat I like too. Tzfat has different energy, but it's its own specific energy. Hebron has its energy. We know the whole four cities thing. Tveria, Tiberias has its energy. Listen,
every one of these places, Tzfat, it really does. It's actually palpable. It's like, even if you don't, like, if you never heard any of these concepts, and you go to Israel, and it's just like, let's say you never even heard of Israel, right? You're from it. You're an alien. You never heard of Israel, okay? And you come to Earth, and you just go to a country. You go to Greece. You go to China. You go to Mexico. You go to you go to Alaska, whatever, okay? Then you come to Israel and be like, what's up this place? What's going on here? It feels different. Like you go to Tzfat. There's some kind of,
it's like a portal.
You know how, like, remember how they used to have like those ice creams? You'd buy the ice cream, it had like multiple flavors, like the vanilla, chocolate, the strawberry, and then maybe another one.
You're talking about the Neapolitan ice cream, or like
Neapolitan, or even sometimes like more like go to a. How do you describe a flavor? Why do flavor? Why does one thing taste one way and nothing taste the other way?
You can't.
Right? So it's like a language. A flavor is kind of like a musical note. Like it sounds one way. It does. Feelings and feeling some kind of energy is like that too. There's flavors of energy. When you go to Tzfat, there's one flavor of energy. When you go to Jerusalem, another flavor. But it's very, very potent. Like it's
very distinct, and you can't. Listen, not everybody feels it, or some people do feel it. Like I've had friends that told me I can't be in Tzfat. Not that I hate, I just can't be there. I have a friend that says I can't be in Jerusalem. It's too much for me. I have another friend that says I can't go to Tel Aviv. It's too whatever. It's Tel Aviv. It's a Tuma. Another friend, people. I have friends literally they can't be in these places. I could be everywhere. I just feel different things in different places. And
I tried to, like, even when I was in Tel Aviv, I still knew I was in Israel.
For sure.
Not because people were speaking Hebrew.
But you really feel when let's say you take a bus or even your car from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv, you really feel the descent.
Oh my God.
I'm not talking about elevation. I'm talking about, like, dude, you're in the Shfela. You're like in the lowland, and you feel like you feel like you literally went from Israel to not Israel.
I remember the first time I took the bus from the Tel Aviv metropolitan area, meaning like Kfar Chabad is part of that.
Yeah.
And I took the bus to Jerusalem, and there was a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And the ascent up the hills, like as your
ears start popping, and you're.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but I literally started sobbing. I was crying. I don't understand. Thank God I had my Oakleys.
Dude, that happened to me.
1999. I had these giant Oakleys, bro. I was sitting there like this, I was like,
dude, that happened to me.
Pretend like I was in a hangover, something more manly, than freaking crying like a little biatch. I was crying like a baby.
Dude, that happened to me a lot.
I don't understand it.
It happened to me like driving through Judea and Samaria a bunch of times. It happened to me going to like Shiloh. It happened, you know, when the first tabernacle was for 369 years.
The hills of Jerusalem were the most dramatic experience I've ever had in my life.
It happened to me like going at Tzfat. Yeah, man, just or driving around by myself in the Golan Heights, you know, like the flat lands of the Golan.